Hello everybody and welcome back to Amity Blue. My name is Nazy. Today I am so excited. I am finally going to be supplying you guys with my fabrics. You guys have been sending me so many messages asking if I can sell the fabrics that I use in my journals, and that day has finally come. I have created some textile embellishment kits that will be in my shop periodically, probably every month and a half or so. It's just whenever I get fabric in from my supplier, I will be able to prep it up and create a couple of kits, and they will be offered in my shop. So what I created is a textile embellishment kit. And what it is that you get around 50 to 60 different kinds of fabrics in 4x4, sometimes 5x5, sometimes 3x4, depending on how much of the fabric I actually have, in little squares. And the reason that I decided to do it this way instead of like yards is, first of all, the types of fabrics that I get are authentic. You cannot find in stores. I don't go to Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby. I don't go to those places for my textiles. I go to textile shops. I go to the Scott's Antique Market, where I personally know a dealer there, and I create some custom orders with him, and he brings me back lots of authentic textiles from India, from the Middle East, from Turkey, Nepal. Those are my favorite places to get fabric from. And of course, I don't have the luxury nor the money to go to these wonderful countries each time I want fabric. So you guys have asked me where I get my fabric from. It's very hard to answer that question because you can't get the same fabric that I use. It's impossible, which is why I decided to create these little kits. The types of textiles that I buy are expensive. For me, it's an investment to invest in these textiles. One of my professors is actually from New York, and there is a wonderful textile showroom specializing in Japanese textiles. I actually ordered some things from that shop for one piece of fabric that sometimes maybe doesn't even come close to a yard. It's probably a couple of feet. Sometimes it's a couple of inches. It can range around from $50 all the way to $200. So it's very expensive, which is why I can't supply my fabric in yards. I'm not a fabric store. I wish, though. That is my dream, to have my own little fabric store, but I can't provide my fabric in quantities of yards because I'd sell out in a day and I wouldn't have any fabric left over for myself. So I decided to come up with this idea of giving you 50 to 60 different types of textiles, all coordinating to one particular style. Instead of you having to go out and buy 60 different Bohemian textiles, which would be overly insanely expensive, I am giving you 50 to 60 different types in a package. This way you get samples of everything, and I don't know if you're like me, but I personally like to get samples of lots of things instead of just one thing. I'm like that with food. I'm like that with many things, and fabric is one of them. I will be releasing 2 different kits this month. One of them is, of course, Bohemian. #1 most requested, my most personal favorite, and honestly the most special to my heart. I cannot tell you how many times I did not want to cut up a piece of my textiles. I just wanted to keep all of it, but I know it's going to go to good homes, and I know it's better if I give and I share instead of just hoard it and keep it for myself. And I'm up to the brim with fabric, boxes and boxes full of fabric, because I go fabric crazy. What better way than to share my addiction and my love for fabric than to share it with you all? So there will be 2 kits that will be coming out this month. One is Bohemian, like I mentioned, and the other is linen and lace. I decided to only create 7 of each just because whenever I release something new, I don't like to make too much of it. I like to kind of keep the numbers low so that I don't go crazy. And it took a long time. It took a long time for me to get these kits together because I started having this idea a couple months ago, and that's when I started collecting the fabrics and the textiles that I knew I wanted to put in this kit. The best part is that some of these textiles have never been shown before here on my channel. They have never been used in a Bohemian journal, so you guys will be the first ones to have them in your hands. So that's pretty much all of the details of the kit. I will be giving you a little sneak peek, which I have over here, but I'm not going to give you guys the full reveal yet. The full reveal will be available this Friday, and the textile kits will be available Friday night. So I cannot wait until you guys get to see them. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that your day is filled with a huge abundance of peace and love. Bye-bye.